This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Because I want some of the props showing. Yeah, you know, like the fake wine.
Oh, I forgot to bring
I
ours.
peeped that.
I know. Yeah.
I asked him earlier, I was like, are you bringing wine? Or like, do you want wine?
Well,
or
I was like,
something?
well, she's expecting. And so I was like, I wasn't going to. I mean, usually I would, right?
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
like, I don't want anything to happen to Mav. So I was like,
We'd be like the only ones drinking. She'd be here like,
I know. I'd be like, thanks, guys.
and I love how Maverick is in the episode too.
I know
Like,
he's
yeah, it's
there.
so
He's
great.
fully
Okay.
just ready to go.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. I am so excited not only to be celebrating 5 years of The Public Affair, which on my last episode that I recorded just at the house, all cutesy-wootsy, just all regular, which I never normally do, right? There's always production, right? But I just wanted it to be a lot more intimate. I just wanted to use this opportunity before we continue with the show to thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys have been showing me for the last 5 years, to Rogue Media Network, for everything that you guys do for me, and everybody who subscribes, likes, shares the show. You guys are the best. So thank you so much. I hope we can do 5 more years of the show. Or 5 more years of something, right? I don't want to be a bum. I don't want to be a bum loser. I just don't. You know, hello. But anyway, you guys, if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. And before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by my boy David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. He is the #1 sales agent in his office. He's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. If you guys don't know how to buy a house, or you guys don't know what entails in purchasing or selling your home, just hit up my boy David Santabañez with the number on the screen, because he's going to help you out step by step. He's going to make sure that you're involved in every single part of the process. And he's truly that's why he's the #1 sales agent at Alinea Real Estate for 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know. He's been sponsoring the show for 5 years, so at least that long, right? Call the number on the screen. David Santabañez. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Oh my goodness, of course, to Anika Armstrong, my girl. Armstrong's Bayou Cafe, serving the most authentic Creole cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and so much more. My favorite is any pasta that you can get there. I love creating my own pasta in the kiosk, and I get the crawfish tails and the chicken and the chives.
Where's it at?
They're so good. Oh, it's at Union Hall or Union Grove in Woodway. Hello. And if you guys are having a party like a baby shower, you can you can ask her for catering services as well, and she's gonna take care of that. True, if you like Cajun food, if you like food inspired from Louisiana, excuse me, she's not inspired from Louisiana, she is Louisiana. Armstrong's Bayou Cafe.
That's where the good stuff's from.
It's so good, yes. Armstrong's Bayou Cafe. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, my boy Manny Guerrero, Blue Star RV Services. He's a mobile RV tech who fixes all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, tour holidays, and so much more. We all know that when you buy an RV for the first time or whatever, things just be happening. Things happen. You're camping. You're trying to show it off to your new friends. It breaks down. The AC doesn't work. There's no running water. There's no nothing. Call Blue Star RV Services. And let me tell you something. Mia is with child, and she is so tired of going to the food trucks, and she wants a cheeseburger with fries because the baby, that's what they want. And then there's no cheeseburger and fries because the oven's not working. Blue Star RV Services is going to come out there and they're going to fix it, all right? Call the number on the screen. Save their number. Blue Star RV Services. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I'm not going to go on without thanking my boy Jeff Davis, the Texas car plug at University Mazda Kia. Hit him up to get the best deal on a brand new or pre-owned vehicle. Listen, no credit, bad credit, whatever your credit looks like, whatever your finances look like, just hit up my boy Jeff Davis. He's going to make sure you're rolling off the lot at University Mazda Kia with something to show off. He's the good at what he does. He's going to get you the best deal. Jeff Davis, thank you so much for all you do for me in the show, bro. I truly, and we're actually celebrating a year since your show came out. So, hello, fun fact about that. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys, like I said, I'm super excited to have these next guests onto the show, because I love having couples. I do love having couples on the show because nobody wants to be with me, so I kind of live vicariously through you guys. I've kind of resided myself to the fact that 34 years old, I'm never going to be married, probably, never going to have a family, but that's okay, because you know what, I'm too much. But, you know, I'll get the perspective on different couples. That way I could be more equipped in case somebody does want to, husband this up. You know what I mean?
I think that's a great way to look at it.
I think so too, and yes. I think everybody's sleeping on me. But anyway, you guys, these are actually just some really good friends of mine that I've known for quite a long time. I normally don't have just like personal friends on the show, but every so often I do like to do this. And so I'm so happy and excited to welcome my very good friends, Colton and Mia Grimm, onto The Public Affair. How are you guys? Hello.
Doing great,
Doing
man.
great,
Just looking blonde hair and blue-eyed and beautiful.
That's us.
That's
yep.
I like to think of you guys as the all-American couple.
That's us.
We'll take it.
Now, you know, Colton and I have known each other for a long time. Can we talk about when we first met, please? Can we just do that real quick? We're not going to say where, right? But me and Colton just know each other from a different establishment. And so
Yes.
we met at the Christmas party, you and I. And you know what I liked about your wife, Colton? Because there's couples like you guys, like, you know, I think when people look on the outside looking in, like on the pictures and stuff, you guys take fantastic pictures. You guys are always smiling, this and that. They're like, they're so perfect. They're so perfect. But, you know, I think I was intimidated by Mia in the beginning. Because I'm like, oh, she's going to be so judgy of me, right? You know, because I've made some jokes in the past that we don't have to repeat on camera. And I just remember being in your face, just sloshed wine breath, just liquored up. And you know what? Mia just kept, just like, it's okay. You're good. do you?
She gets me.
Right?
That's how you felt. She gets me.
What were you? Have you always just been non-judgmental? Or you like how are you able to just approach people that way? Because I'm not. I was pretty trashed on you. Like I'm not.
I mean, I think we've all had those moments. So I think I just came into it being like, I probably was that person to someone once. So I'm like, I have no room to judge this guy. And I honestly didn't think you were that bad. I was like, he's funny.
Did
He's
you
the
not?
most charismatic one here besides
Hello.
Colton, of course.
Well,
And, you know,
Tell
I
them
was
that-
like, I want to talk to him more.
thank you. You see, tell them that party was not fun until I walked in, please.
You were the
It
party.
was fun. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
the party was lame until I got there and started drinking and getting the shots. Okay, that's what we do. And then Colton and I, we go back too. And I have been back and forth about inviting you on the show because you have shared very briefly, like in private, just some of the things that you've been through in your past, and I'm always drawn to that. Do you know what I mean? Because when you see Colton's very well put together. You know what I mean? And very nice. He was the same way too. Shook hands with everybody, like just cool, comment, never like don't talk to me in front of certain people. And then when you told me about your past, I gotta have this guy on the show. But I really wanted Mia in it too because I feel like this is gonna be. I just want to know how she was able to break through all that, right? But anyway, let me shush. How'd y'all meet?
Actually, it's kind of funny.
Okay.
I'll let you
tell
take
the
the
story
reins.
a lot.
Go ahead.
Just hear me out before. Like I'm about to say something, but just let
Okay.
me finish what I'm gonna say. The
Okay.
first time we met, I was naked. Let me explain. We used to live in I used to live in West Texas. That's where she's from. And we lived right across from, there's a pool there called the Palladium Pool. We call it the West Pool. Anyways, I just got done with summer workouts. I was in high school.
Sure.
I went and took a shower, took a nap. Used to take a nap naked. My little brother was over there at
the
the
shower?
pool. Well, I'd take a shower and I'd get out and, like, take a nap
But like where? Like where are you taking the nap?
in my bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm at the house.
Oh, I
So
thought you were
we-
taking a shower at the pool. I was
No.
taking a bed and pool. Okay.
No, we lived right
Let me
across
let
from
you
the
finish.
pool.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
there you go. Yeah.
I took a nap. I go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And I wake up, and there's 5 girls in my room, including Mia. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting set. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
And I noticed her then, and I was like, dang, she's kind of cute, you know? But we went back over to the pool because my little brother brought them over there, so we had food. So that's kind of the first time we, quote-unquote, met. It wasn't like, hey, Mia, how are you?
Sure.
Like, it was just kind of like, we kind of noticed each other. And then I guess we added each other on Snapchat.
Yeah,
And,
that's how all love stories
Yeah, I was
start
gonna say
these
this
days.
is the makings of like you're already halfway to just
Yeah.
getting to the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is just like social media,
Okay.
DMs,
Wait,
all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
So,
so, yeah, and then, like, we texted a little bit when I was, like, a sophomore going into junior year. She was a freshman going into sophomore year. We texted back and forth, but it wasn't nothing like, like, let's talk. It was more
Sure.
just like, hey, how are you?
How
What's
you
your name?
doing?
Like,
Yeah.
And then later on, she, like, posted this Instagram story when we were in high school, and I was like, I like her. Like, I could tell. Like, I was like, I like her.
Okay.
So I
Mind
kinda
you, we
just-
go to 2 different high schools. if
We
we're-
did,
Sure.
but my brother went to the same school as her, so I
Yeah.
kind
Gotcha.
of knew her, and like I knew some people that
Yeah.
she was in the same grade with that are friends of mine, and well, she's cute, so I slid up on her and we kind of texted and kind of flirted a little bit. Then we kind of
Okay.
put it on the back burner, and
Sure.
I was like, it's fun, flirting and stuff. I wasn't talking to nobody at the time, and then a month goes by,
Yeah.
and we had like this little dodgeball tournament at school,
Okay.
and we dogged everybody every year
Okay,
we did
that's
it.
besides the
So
point.
okay, besides the point.
has to throw
so
that in
look,
there.
I put it on Snapchat.
Okay.
And she slid up, and then the rest is history.
He
From
loves
there,
to
we never
point-
stopped talking.
He loves to point that out that I slid up that
She
last
did.
time.
Gotcha.
And then from there.
I'm just saying, I'm a catch.
But there,
You know?
no,
No,
totally
I'm just
right.
playing.
But there's some points to the story that I'm missing on Mia's end, right? Because first of all, how'd she make it in your room when you're naked in your bed?
right?
That's what I want to
Yeah.
know. Yes, because
We definitely need to talk
the
about
door
that.
should have been closed if you're going to be naked. Was it just you and your
I
brother?
had a
living in the
cover
house?
on though.
No, it doesn't matter. Is it you and your brother?
Me and my brother,
Okay.
we shared a room.
And you still slept naked?
I mean, it was after workouts. No one was there. Like, it's one of, like, during the middle of the day. Cason's at the
Okay.
pool. My mom was at work. I didn't think anybody was gonna
Mia,
come
girl,
in.
how'd you get in the room? Stop this.
I was with the group of friends, like he was saying. We were with his younger brother, and he's
Okay.
like, "Y'all want to to come over, and I think I was just kind of following the crowd.
Yeah,
I didn't know where we were going, who was going to be there. I was just kind of following the friends I was with.
Room.
And they were just in the room, and I'm
But
like,
Mia, you were secretly plotting, and you're just
When
not
you're
saying.
14 years old, are you smart?
I mean,
No.
no, but
No.
like, I don't think I was just walking in people's rooms either. Like, I knew better.
You know,
what I
that's a
mean?
great, that's a lesson we'll teach our daughter, actually.
Yes.
You know,
So here's a good question for you, Mia. So was it love at first sight for you since you saw him naked already?
I didn't see any of that.
Okay, okay.
I did see.
they didn't see me naked. I was naked in the room.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
That's why I
Let's
say we
preface
met
that.
when I was naked.
You just saw a body and.
Yeah, I saw his
Okay.
face, and I definitely noticed him.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
the blonde hair, blue eyes, that'll get you every time.
does.
So
I just-
definitely took note of it. For
I love
sure.
how you both have blonde hair, blue eyes. It's like an experiment. you know what I mean? You guys look like just like you were actually factually made for each other.
Yeah, right. In a factory
Okay.
or something, yeah.
So basically, the way that they met was that Mia was just a little curious and snuck in Colton's room because low key she had noticed you for a very, very long time, is what it sounds like to me.
have
And then
been,
she was
man.
like, "This is my opportunity," and then just barged into the room.
Maybe.
Hello. Okay.
Maybe so.
You know what? I do. Not, I don't want to get like too into it, Colton, because I know it's it's very private and stuff like that. But here's the thing: like some of the things that I've talked with Colton about from the past, like Colton used to be about that life, right? Mia, how how were you able to just accept him for all those flaws and all?
I mean, I come from a background that's pretty, not your typical. So I feel like I've seen a lot of the similar things that he's seen and he's gone through.
Okay.
So I think when I met him and I learned all the stuff that he was going through and that he has seen and all that good stuff, I was familiar with it and non-judgmental about it because I've been there and I've seen it. And it just made me love him even more. I was like, wow, this guy is actually... It showed me that he was opening up
Yeah,
to me
sure.
about everything. So it was easy for me to...
kind of just like move. Yeah. So you guys were 14. Well, you were 14 at least.
Well, when we
you
started
met, yeah.
dating, we weren't.
Yeah.
We were 17.
But
So-
I guess like so in that time, Colton, were you still kind of like wild childish era or?
I was wild child from probably 15
Uh-huh.
all the way. Well, yeah, like 15 all the way to like almost 18.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say right before I met her because like when we started talking in December of 2016.
Right.
But I kind of like all the way up until like July of 2016, I was going crazy. And then I was like, I don't want to do this like
Sure.
type of life no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it just, I kind of felt like there wasn't really much in it.
Got
You know
you.
what I'm saying? Like
But it sounded like you
I wanted to be with somebody, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to. I wanted to be with somebody or be somebody's. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just like talk to people. Like
Yeah.
it's just a waste of time to me.
Was there ever a time for you, Mia, where you like because knowing the era of his ways in that era? Pun intended. But was there ever a moment for you that kind of gave you caution and you were just kind of like, I don't know, he's a little bit all over the place. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Yeah.
at the very beginning,
Uh-huh.
just because like he was honest with me about like all the fun relationships that you have before you get into a serious
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Of course, that's always in the back of your mind. So I think
Right.
initially I was maybe a little cautious, but then after that he did nothing to make me think otherwise.
like
so it was
compromise.
easy
Yeah, I got
to
you.
trust him. So
Did you ever feel like maybe some people might have been judging you, like, ooh, girl, you just don't know?
I feel like
some people could be messy.
I mean, absolutely. It was
Yeah.
high school, so I'm
Yeah.
sure there were people that were thinking that, and that's always in the back of your head as a teenager. So,
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
I don't know. No, nobody was walking in on me when I was 14. But I also was never in that circumstance either. Colton, I wonder for you, one of the things, because, it sounds like Mia just accepted the flaws and all, but, while you have made some pretty drastic changes in your life due to some of the things that you've told me, I wonder, did you ever feel like you were maybe scared of some triggers, like things that kind of might just like throw you off the edge, you know what I mean, and be compromising to your relationship?
Not necessarily, because I felt like when we started talking, like I knew from the beginning, I'm like, she's different. Like I couldn't really explain it, but I was like, we had all these deep conversations and we could talk for hours, and like we played off of each other so well
Yeah.
that I didn't have anything in the back of my mind.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I was ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready to be with somebody, and then I kind of had like everybody has their kind of wants and needs, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she fit everything for me.
Sure.
And then, of course, she's beautiful, but it was really more about just being with somebody that I felt comfortable with and that, of course, I love. So.
And Mia's glowing in that pregnancy, though, girl.
Whew.
You better glow it up.
My gosh. Thank you. I don't feel the glow, but I appreciate that.
You guys just had the daughter, Ruby, correct?
Yes.
And twins is like an understatement.
Like with them two?
I think Colton and Ruby,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
guys
she looks a lot like her dad.
As she's gotten older,
Yeah,
they do
yeah.
look a
You
lot
guys,
alike.
yeah. Okay, and then we have baby number 2
Yes.
due in October, right?
Yes.
Now, is there plans to grow the family?
We're gonna wait to see how like raising 2 kids goes before we answer that.
I got you.
I don't know.
But we're excited.
We got one of each. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure.
We'll
Boy
have
and
a
a
girl
girl.
and a boy. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Hey, can I double back on that question real quick that I just asked you to you? Do you ever feel like, especially now with children involved and you guys, there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders now. Do you ever feel like there's some things that might trigger Colton and kind of set him back in those ways? Or does that ever scare you?
Like with the kids involved?
Well, I'm not saying
Yeah.
like Ruby's going to throw him off the deep end.
Yeah, right,
But,
right.
like I think when it comes to raising children and becoming parents, it's like this whole, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm sure your paradigm shifts, right? And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely added a whole new layer to our relationship where, you have to learn how to be a team in your marriage, which is Ruby's going to be 2 in October, and we're still learning that. So it definitely adds, like I said, like a whole new layer. I'm constantly learning new things about him, not only as Colton, but like as a dad, and I'm sure he could say the same about me, like as a mom. But it's fun. It's hard, but it's fun. Yeah.
What's dad Colton different than Colton?
That's a good question. I mean, I just love, man, that's a really good question. I haven't thought about that before. Yes.
Hello.
Dad Colton versus Colton.
Yeah.
I guess there's like just like this tender side to him, of course, when you're a dad to a little girl, especially. There's just like this tenderness in him that I get to see, which is really awesome. And just like a caretaker role that you don't really see before you have kids, especially when you're pregnant with a toddler. He's had to take on a lot. So that's a whole new side I've got to see of him, is like really just taking things on. And not to mention, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So he, he works to provide for us. So that's a whole new role I get to see.
Good
So,
for you.
yeah.
We're going to get into this later, but, all these bum baby daddies. At least Colton's not like that. And I've only heard Colton ever curse one time, and it, like, did something to my body. I was like, whoa. And it wasn't even that bad. It was like shit or something. And I was just like, okay, Colton.
Just threw you off.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he was like, I forgot what he was mad. He was mad about something.
That's
but
so funny.
he was so mad. Yeah. How would you guys say becoming parents changed you individually, though?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
I would say there's especially as a man, there's a overwhelming sense of responsibility that you've never had before.
Okay.
Like, being in a relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or engaged or whatever, like that's a pretty big responsibility. Like you're committing to somebody. And then when you get married, that's a big commitment. That's a big responsibility, but it's only with one other person.
Right.
So like, it's like, if we have a problem, we can work it out. But when you add children into the mix, it's a whole nother set of
like a
things.
whole
Because not
different
only are
ballgame,
you thinking about your relationship with your children, but you're also thinking about your relationship and like how you treat your, treat your wife, what your children are going to see,
Sure.
how you treat other people that aren't your wife, that aren't mom. Maybe it's grandma or granddad or whatever. It's really important that, or at least for what I've learned, to like step back and think before I act or I say something. Because what I do, she's going to start to pick up on and try to emulate or think it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's just that side of it. And then also, of course, like the financial side of things. A man thinks about that.
Yeah.
Of, I need to provide. I need to make a career. I need something stable. I need,
I hope you men are taking notes, because there's a lot of you men out here that are not doing that. All right, some of them are. I'm just saying, some of you are not. I got the pencil for you. Here you go. Yeah.
So I'd say that, and then two, just like, wanting to set a good example.
Yeah.
As
for
a
sure.
man. So there's things that I've started to implement into my life. Like, I'm starting to work out a lot more.
Okay.
I'm eating really well. Of course, I go to work. I treat Mia with respect.
Right.
Heck, clean up the house when I need to.
Sure.
Of course, I take out the trash, do the dishes, all the responsibilities that you have. But I think the biggest thing just comes down to what Mia was saying. Like, we're a team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like knowing your role and doing your role as best as you can and always improving. And then the stuff that you're not doing good at, be like, babe, what am I doing wrong?
Okay. Mia,
What do I need to add? What do I need to take away? What is it?
Sure.
You know?
Are you pretty straightforward with him though?
I can be. I feel like sometimes I struggle with like thinking he can just read my mind.
Okay.
And he does a good job of reminding me, like, babe, no, like we need to communicate about this.
Sure.
So once I do communicate with him, absolutely, like he goes above and beyond.
Yeah,
So
most
yeah.
definitely. How have the circumstances of your life changed since becoming a mother?
Oh my gosh. I feel like my life has flipped completely.
Really?
Yeah,
Where do we start?
in a good
Okay,
way,
okay.
though. I had a really rough postpartum experience
Sure.
with my daughter.
Yeah.
So that shifted a lot mentally. I never really struggled mentally until after I had our daughter.
Yeah.
So that was a whole new ball game, and that's when I really really had to start to rely on Colton in a whole different way. Going back to that question is because he had to pick up a lot of slack during that time as well. So just to like briefly answer your questions, it's changed it in just about every way you could imagine.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the postpartum. I remember seeing that for the first time ever, like postpartum depression, and I'm gonna conceal identities, right? But I remember it being involving people that in their culture they don't recognize. Like they're like, no, it's not postpartum depression, it's something else. You know?
Right.
It's roots, it's whatever. And I'm like the person like it's postpartum depression. Like she's like she needs comforting. You know what I
Right.
mean? She needs to be reminded that her child doesn't not want her here. Like,
Yes.
things like that. And
Yeah.
you made this really good point too. I'm just going to keep it real funny before we move on to the next topic. But, kids truly are sponges because my 4-year-old nephew loves saying what the hell. And I really feel like I have a lot to do with that. And it was my bad.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll be at dinner and he's like, what the hell? And I'm like, stop. Don't say
They
that.
are sponges.
They
like
are,
my
it's crazy.
like our daughter has like picked up on.
Yeah.
She talks a lot. She's not even 2, and she's pretty advanced. And we're just super proud of that. But along with that comes like we really have to watch what we say around her because she'll pick it up just like that.
She's just got it.
Yeah, she does.
The raising kids in this day and age, I wonder if that's scary for you guys because kids are going through a lot these days though. Kids kids are like in the streets a lot more. There's a lot more violence going on and stuff like that. And I wonder for you guys, is it scary raising children in 2025?
I feel like it can be. I think if you pay too much attention to like the headlines you're seeing and the stuff you're seeing on social media, it can definitely put you in a weird mindset.
Right.
So I think at least that's one thing that I do to help me is I try not to look at that stuff too much. Of course, you want to pay attention to your surroundings and what's going on, but it can be scary when you hear about everything that's going on in the world, and it can be overwhelming. Absolutely.
Don't you think though, Colton too? It's like hard to trust certain people too, right?
Yeah, it's like how I look at it as you can control what you can control.
Okay.
The world's going to be the world. Unfortunately, people are going to get shot. People are going to get killed. People are going to get robbed. It's human nature.
Right.
And it's just an unfortunate thing. There's so many people who are victims to that. But at the end of the day, teach your kids the way they should go. Teach them the right way. Teach them how to treat people. Teach them how to live. Teach them how to, just teach them the things that are going to benefit them and allow them to make those decisions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, try to be as safe as you can.
Yeah, for
don't
sure,
go
for sure.
115 on the interstate. Try to go to speed limit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's
practical.
a good point. Control what you can control.
Yeah.
It's true, and then you don't want to shelter the kids though either, though, right? Because at some point, it's like such a nuanced conversation because they have to be exposed to to their environments and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But then with just things that are going on, like I pay attention to a lot of the headlines, and I can recall this year alone how many like minors have lost their lives to gun violence, and they were just like at a party, and when we were growing up, the parties it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was different.
It's just different now, and so
Super different.
I think about you guys, and I think about like our friend Morrow and Leslie who just had their baby, and like God, it's got to be so different raising kids in this day and age than it was. I mean, I was born in 91, so.
Heyo.
I know I'm a lot older than you guys. Oops.
Not a whole lot, just like 8 years.
Shut up, Colton. Okay. Damn. You know what? Listen, I am having such a good time with you guys, and thank you so much for sharing all that. Now, we're going to take a quick break, okay? But when we get back, I want to know your perspectives about relationships and what they mean on your end. And when I say your end, you guys are unity, you guys. So when we get back, we're going to have more of my very good friends, Colton and Mia, here on The Public Affair. You guys stay tuned. We're going to have so much fun. I'll be right back. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guests, Colton and Mia Grimm, are here on the show. We're having a very great time talking about couples things, what your couples do wrong, kids, and all that kinds of stuff. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out. I'm just going to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Julian and Ana Banda with Banda's hauling service. That right, they rent dump trailers, you fill it up, they haul it away. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. And if you guys are having a big giant party, if you're having your own spring cleaning, summer cleaning, winter cleaning, kind of cleaning, you're cleaning at the garage, whatever, they rent off dumpster services as well. It's perfect. And Julian is always reliable. Julian is always punctual. Julian is the best hauling business here in town. You guys have got to save his number because when you leave here, the car is going to break down. You're going to need a tow. And he's the most affordable tow in town. I'm just saying. All right. On this hauling service, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Al Gutierrez and Adriana Gutierrez with Chefito's Kitchen, serving the best in Latin cuisine, including arroz con gandules, Cuban sandwiches, plátano maduro, and so much more. Listen, I'm Puerto Rican. I love my Puerto Rican food from Chefito's Kitchen. It is fantastic. He also has food inspired by the likes of Cuba, Costa Rica, Mexico, and so much more. You guys have got to go check them out at Union Grow. Delicious. And if you guys need catering services as well, Chefito's Kitchen's got you. Al Gutierrez, Adriana Gutierrez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair, of course. And to Sid Rodriguez at Elite Barbershop, who got me all spiffy today. Looking all spiffy for Colton and Mia, even though I don't have that good hair like Mia does. Hello. On Hewitt Drive, 135 North Hewitt Drive, Suite 121. Walk-in to welcome as well. They have Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Isai Reyes, Sam Sabayo, and Kaira Chapa. Making look at snacks I have for more than 250 episodes of The Public Affair. And you know what? If you guys don't want to walk in, just download the Squire app as well. They're going to get you taken care of. Sid is the GOAT, longest running sponsor of The Public Affair. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the show. And of course, to Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez at Soko Soccer Academy. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training and superb, fantastic childcare services as well. And if you guys, cause school's out, or maybe you need somewhere to put the babies, if grandma and grandpa are not available, they have some great daycare services as well. And if you guys want your kids to be superb star athletes in any sport like soccer, baseball, wherever, Soko Soccer Academy is the place to get elite skills training. So make sure you guys call the number on the screen, follow their social media at Soko Soccer Academy, and be on the lookout for various leagues that they have as well. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the Soko soccer teams. Head coach, Coach Morrow, is my very good friend. Coach Megan, Coach Jeff, Coach everybody that is involved with those. I can't keep up. But Soko Soccer Academy, thank you so much for all your support of The Public Affair. All right, guys, we're back with my very special guests, Colton and Mia. Thank you guys again so much. I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Having a great time.
Yeah, having a blast.
Can we poke fun at Colton real quick?
Love to.
When I texted him for you guys to come onto the show, and he said, before we agree to do it, what are you going to talk about? I think Colton thought I was going to be like super rated R with you guys.
I mean, like I was telling you before we started, I made him ask that question.
I wonder what questions you guys thought I was going to ask. Like, just inappropriate, super...
There's no telling.
You could just be a wild card,
but,
you know?
Yeah, because you know what? Colton knew me in the beginning stages of The Public Affair, though. Like, I think when I met him, I was barely on year 2, if I'm not mistaken. And I was pretty wild.
Barely, yeah. Like, it was still really new.
Fresh. It was
very
fresh.
Yeah.
And I was very much handstands and cartwheels, and all kinds of just inappropriate, just malarkey. And then I remember when we talked about him, I was like, "There's no way you're gonna be on the show, and I'm gonna like make it cutesy wootsy, right? It's just not gonna happen." But here we are. See, isn't everything like a divine intervention?
Yep.
Yeah, I have to say so. Yeah.
Growth.
Did I say intervention? Is that the word?
It happened exactly when it needed to be.
It did.
We've talked about this for like 3 years.
We talked about it for a very long time, and we actually have a lot more mutual friends than I thought. I remember because so I ran some advertising for you actually back in the day because you helped the soccer team. You contributed something, and so our plan or our deal was that I would do that for you. And I remember posting Colton's first advertisement, and all these people were like, "I guess people don't read." They're like, "He's gonna be on the show," and I was like, "No, I just go buy it." At the time, you were selling RVs. I was like, "Go buy an RV for me." I'm like, no. And then I was like, I just never thought like you'd be here. And I have to say, I'm so grateful that you guys did accept the opportunity to come
sure.
on because
Yeah.
I liked watching you guys on social media, and I always had like a lot of respect for you guys and the way you carry yourselves. And I'm sure y'all, probably throw blows behind the scenes, but we're gonna
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Right? Hello. There's always more to us behind closed doors. But yeah, what are some rules in your relationship? Like, what about setting boundaries and stuff like that? Like when you guys got together, surely you change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, was it hard in the beginning? And like, what did you guys set for yourselves?
You go first.
You go ahead.
I would say in the beginning it was definitely different than it is now, just because we were teenagers when we first started dating. So you have like your regular boundaries of like no cheating.
And y'all had
know.
Snapchat. Snapchat's deadly. Yeah, you gotta be careful with some Snapchat.
I don't know if I will ever want Ruby to have social media in general. It scares
Right.
me, but
Yeah.
so just your normal teenage boundaries when you're dating. But when it comes to like the stuff now, I'll let you take that over, I guess, if you have some more insight on that.
Yeah.
I feel like the rules we follow are just simple. It's not like all right, you do this and this and this and this,
Sure.
and we're on good terms. It's more like, I love you, and
Okay.
you love me. Therefore, we don't
Sure.
cheat on each other, or we don't entertain other people, or
Yeah.
which that's never really been a concern for us ever.
Right.
But just like, I don't know.
Let me be less coy with the question. Like, I guess, like, would it be okay for Mia to have dude friends? Would it be okay for you to have woman friends? I mean, I know that there's boundaries in that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to just go hang out with a bunch of chicks, like, while we're
Right.
and have drinks with them without my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is that allowed to exist? You know?
I think that we don't really ever think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was like, it's not that I wouldn't like trust Mia. I just don't trust men. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like somebody could take advantage of her, like
Gotcha.
put something in her drink, or like, it all it does to me is it just creates unnecessary drama. Like
Right.
all of us already have like enough hard things going on in our life. We have kids.
Right.
We have our relationship. We have family we got to keep up with. We got a house, we got car payments. We got stuff just like normal people do. Like,
Sure.
all that other stuff, like, that can stay, like,
That's so
early
B-sided.
20s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just,
said early
I'm
20s.
just not interested.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I met a guy recently who is very traditional in his relationship, and he's like y'all's age, I would say. You know what I mean? And I mean, when he goes home, he's not cooking nothing. He's not washing not one dish. The wife, I will go work, make the money, and when I get home, I want to clean house and I want dinner made, and kind of like very, I don't want to say arrogant with it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
But
yeah.
in a way, I was just like, I can't believe you're like that at your age.
Yeah.
I get some of it. Like, I respect how, like, a man wants to, like you mentioned earlier, there's, like, this overwhelming responsibility that came with being a husband and a
Yeah.
dad. You know what I mean? Some people, that doesn't happen. So, good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people, they stay in their ways, And so I wonder, do you guys, if so, carry some of those traditional...
That's
for lack of a
funny
better
that
term.
We do.
you bring that up because I feel like that's one thing we've had to figure out since having kids and since me becoming a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Just touching back on like my postpartum experience, I feel like that's definitely when Colton had to start taking on some of those more untraditional roles, I guess, when it comes to, those manly roles.
Yeah.
Just because I needed the help, like mentally, physically, with the new baby, like there was no way that I could get through the day without him taking some of that load.
Sure.
So like and it just comes down to communication now. Like when I need help, I'm like, help me with this. Like, can you
Yes.
please do the dishes? Can you please
Yeah.
give Ruby a bath, this or that? So I feel like we veer, there's traditional things we do, but we do some things untraditional
Okay.
when
I
we
look at
need
it
to.
as like I'm not too much of a man or whatever not to do dishes or to like
Yeah.
like make a bed or like clean up after our daughter. What like
Yes.
I'm here to help. Like
not
if I
gonna-
can help you,
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. Like if you need help, if somebody you love needs help and you're able to do it,
Then why don't you just do
why
it?
don't you do it?
I'm not
Like, do
gonna
you
lie.
really love
Yes.
them? You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
that
now, and
did
I
take
understand
me,
there's
though,
the
yeah.
traditional roles, and that's how people grow up and all that. But like,
Yes.
if it makes me less of a man to do dishes or to make a bed or whatever, then people can have their opinion, but that's not my opinion. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? I don't really care about that.
Well, now people eat off paper plates these days. Nobody wants
I
to
do.
dishes. I'm not gonna lie, I don't.
Yeah, I do. I love paper plates.
Listen.
We do both.
Oh
but
God, you guys, please don't think anything of me because I promise I'm not like bougie, right? Paper plates annoy the shit out of me. They do. I hate
Even
when,
the heavy duty ones?
Yes, I hate when people post their dinner at home and it's on. I don't know why. Y'all do not judge me, please.
is it like the aesthetic
The
of it?
aesthetic.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like it takes away the whole like.
It'll be like a
appearance
gourmet
of it.
meal, and
You
then
know,
it's like on a.
like steak and green beans and mac and cheese and paper plate.
That's
And I'm-
literally our house. Yeah.
Wait, there's nuance, right? But I know this is veering off from the question. I'm sorry, we have to do it.
That's so
'Cause
funny.
I
I
don't
ain't
wanna-
eating, I'm not eating for social media. I'm eating for me.
Good for you.
know?
No, I get right. So that's why I don't even post my food. But like,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
But when you do, make sure there's no
And
paper
there's
plate.
going to be a dish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I
Yeah.
will wash the dish. I will do dishes at your house. No, now paper plates are appropriate for like big get-togethers, barbecues, like when you're making hot dogs and hamburgers, which better have hot dog and hamburger buns, and not sliced bread. But,
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like. I don't know why we had this conversation. Somebody told me like, Andrew, you are crazy, and I was like, I like refuse to go home after a long ad day.
So you never use paper plates?
At
your
barbecues.
house?
No. Well, hold on. I ate
Do you have a dishwasher?
Yes, but I don't use it.
Okay.
I use it to rack the dishes. I don't have a dish rack.
Okay,
So I
okay.
put my dishes in the dishwasher to like drain, and
Yeah,
then I run
yeah.
it once a month or something per the the department asked me to, because I didn't for a long time. But I lied. I had a cookie last night, and there was a paper plate laying around. And I ate the cookie on top of the paper plate and threw it away. That was it.
All right.
But I'm not making dinner.
All right, bro.
I'm sorry, move on.
From now on, I'm gonna put steak in my eggs. I'm gonna put it on a dish. I'm gonna take a picture of it, and I'm gonna put it back in the sink, and I'll put it on my paper plate.
Listen, everybody's gonna hate me for that, but because they're gonna think I never wanted to like openly admit that because people are gonna think that I'm stuck up, and I'm really not. I'm the farthest from it, but there's something.
I
about
don't see an issue with it.
You
If, like
see?
you're
It's
washing your own
preference,
dishes.
yeah.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You know?
I just don't like to wash that many dishes, so I'm about to put it on a paper plate.
And I
bro.
hate those ugly ass paper plates that are like 99 cents. I'm sorry. Okay, move on. No, it did. We were talking about how it almost like demands you to like wash dishes. It did kind of take me when I was talking with that guy, and he was like, "I like won't even wash a dish." I was like, "Oh, really? Like, what's wrong with scrubbing the dish? Get the Dawn soap and the sponge. You'll be all right. Like 2 seconds. It's crazy to me. I do respect traditional values to an extent. I think that's like overdoing it, like where you just kind of like refuse to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there could be some give and take for
They
sure.
really can.
Yeah.
And that's why it puts me in a weird spot in relationships.
You can be like
because-
progressive. You can say like progressive,
Yeah.
traditional. That's the thing. Like, for instance, like a man is like the head of his house.
Sure.
That's just a tradition. That's how it is. There's no way
yes.
around it. If you try to do it the other way, I mean, you can try it if you want. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work. Somebody ends up getting bitter and resentful because a man wants to
100%.
be respected,
Yes.
and a woman wants to be like nurtured and be gentle with.
Sure.
That's really the role.
And she is like carrying a whole thing in her stomach, like it's a whole child, like
A whole baby.
She don't want to be bothered with washing the Dixie cups. My parents' other son, he would try to convince us that he was a stay-at-home dad while he was doing things that landed him in jail. And I thought that was like so like, what are you talking? What's a stay-at-home dad? Like, get out of my face, bro. That's crazy. Okay,
I mean, that's different. Like,
no, it's not because he ended up being something he should be. Anyway,
well, no, I'm not talking about him in
Yeah.
particular, but like,
just lazy.
just the roles. It's like this is just kind of off topic, but like
No, go
some
ahead.
people are like, well, my wife, goes to work and makes X amount of money, and like I stay home with the kids. Like, I don't know if that's really that big of a deal. Like if she's like a orthopedic surgeon or so, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know how much they make. I have no idea. But if she's
Yeah.
like a surgeon or like a high end lawyer or something, and she really enjoys it, it's like, what's the big deal?
I'm so happy
you know
that
what I
you
mean?
said that.
Like, I don't
because
know.
I wanted to ask Mia, like, say, once you give birth and you kind of get yourself back out there, like in the workforce and stuff like that. Let's say at some point Mia does become like a breadwinner just because that's what happened, right? Let's say, she took up some job, and is that okay in a relationship like this?
I'm gonna have to work. Like
Yeah.
I have to do
No,
something.
I mean, you're still
everybody's
working, right?
different,
But
but
yeah.
like, I mean, if it's like,
We joke about that sometimes.
Yeah, like what if Mia becomes like this high end executive at some business? Like,
That's cool.
You know what I mean? On the phone all the time, like Angelica Pickle's mom.
Yes.
What's her name? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
wonder, can the woman be the breadwinner in a relationship and that be okay?
I think
it's
so
fine.
if
Yeah.
you're on the same page with your partner about
Okay.
expectations and
Yes.
stuff like that.
'Cause
But we
some
do
people-
joke about that sometimes.
like, well,
yeah.
like our thing is like, of course, I'm the only one that works, so like, we'll go get something to eat or whatever. And I'll be like, hey, I paid last time. It's your time. It's like, it's your turn. And she'll, like, laugh about it or vice versa because it's just like you're picking up the tab. You know what I mean? But she don't make money. It's our money. It's not hers or mine. But we make that joke. That's, again, it goes back to that team aspect. Like, when you're married, you have to be, at least from my opinion, is like you have to be more committed to the marriage itself than the person you're with. And what I'm trying to say is this, like, with relationships, they kind of ebb and flow, Yes. But a marriage is the same. Like, if you're married, you're married.
Right.
Just like if I'm wearing this black shirt, I'm wearing a black shirt. It's pretty straightforward. Like, you have to be committed to the marriage itself sometimes more than the person because relationships fall. And if it's just, like, off a feeling or off of this or that, like, you have nothing to stand on. But if you're like, I'm committed to this marriage because this is what we agreed on, that's a whole different – and it just allows you to really stick down.
Foundation.
And stay put and go, okay, there's going to be times where Mia and I aren't seeing eye to eye, or like I said something that was rude and I need to apologize about it or whatever the case is, and I'm being stubborn and I'm like, I'm not going to do that,
Right, for sure.
There's going to be times where we're just not on the same page. And then there's some times where it's like nothing could go wrong. We're clicking. Wow, this is the most perfect relationship ever. This stuff is easy, so...
How do y'all keep that private? Because, like, there's a lot of couples on social media now. They just love airing each other out. There's this one couple that me and my friends see all the time. I mean, they fight. They tell us when they're fighting all the time. And I just sit there and be like, wow.
I think that actually goes back to, like, the boundary question.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I guess that is one of our boundaries is, like, if something's going on between us, like, if we're, like, in a little tiff or whatever, we have agreed that, like, that stays between us if, regarding the circumstance, but we don't need to air out our business to our friends or, even, like, we're close with our parents. We don't need to air that out with anyone else until we figure that out between us two.
And that's for us. Of course, like, if somebody, this is all to say, like, if you're, like, in an abusive relationship or something, that's completely different story. Like, it's good to go out and reach out for help and get somebody to intervene, but we don't have that issue. So it's just about, and this is the thing, I don't really want people to know my business. I don't want people to know anything about my wife and I. What we have is what we have, and then, if you want to, if there's something we want to give to somebody, that's different, but like, just to throw your stuff out there, in my opinion, you're just looking for, like, validation, or you're just looking for somebody else to confirm, like, that somebody else is on my side. Like, that's just weak to me. You know what I mean? That's
Colton,
just
clock that tea.
I
love it.
That's my opinion.
Okay,
maybe I should keep it to myself. It might be a little controversial.
No,
but
I don't care. I know. I 100% agree with you, and I do respect a couple that keeps their issues private. I feel like that's how it should be, because I'll be damned if I'm with somebody and we have a fight and they're airing me out on social media, we're going to have a huge issue.
But how many people are, like, their best friend? Like, their best friend knows everything that's going on in the relationship, and then you end up, like, let's say the man did something and the girl's mad and she's telling her best friend. Well, then it ends up being, like, now it's really the best friend versus the man, and that's causing problems. And then the girl you're with, she's in the middle of it, and it ends up being a whole nother problem when it could have just. So look, this is the problem. This is what we need to do to solve it. Let's be done with it and let's move on. Let's forgive each other and go.
Yeah. I wonder, was there anything that inspired you guys to be that way? Because you guys are rather. I mean, you're younger than me. We just mentioned there's an 8-year age difference, and the people in. I mean, y'all grew up in social media. I didn't have Snapchat when I was 14. You know what I mean? And so, like, you guys have been around it your whole life, and that's what they're doing. They're calling each other out, and don't get it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, girl. I'll be clicking on the comments. Like, I'm like, let me see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, refreshing. Like,
watching it.
I go back the next day for the follow up. Like, okay, what happened? They're back together. You know what I mean?
Follow the thread.
I wonder, like, was there something that maybe you guys had seen, or was it just kind of like just an unspoken rule? Like, look, this is how we're doing it, and we're being private about this. Like,
I would say for me, it was more of I don't think it was ever something I had to bring up to him. It would just be, like, different examples I would see of other people doing it on social media, and just being, like, clocking that in my mind, like, I think that's something I'm not ever going to do. And I think he was always on the same page. So,
do you think people in 2025 take their relationship serious? Do you think that relationships are being taken serious?
I mean, ours is.
I think that's
what other people are doing is, it's not really my business. Not to say that I don't care. That's not the case. But, like, I
think it's definitely different these days.
Yeah,
in
it's just
some,
how
in some situations.
how people are being brought up and how people are, a lot of traditional values are kind of starting to fall to the wayside.
People are letting other people in their relationship, like in their relationship, like. The gays are the worst about it. Like they are. I'm just gonna say it on behalf of the gays. They want to be in thruples now. Like I'll be damned.
It's definitely different for sure. I was actually telling him the other day. I'm like, I'm so glad that we've been together for so long, and like we're not having to like date right now because it's so. I don't think I would know how to date in today's age.
I hate it, Mia. Yeah. That's why I'm so single. Like I don't get me wrong. Sure, it'd be nice to go old with somebody, but. It's so different. Everybody's so different these days.
Just from what I've seen, it's just very different.
I'm not here for
these days.
And I think too, sometimes so many people like they always want to be involved in other people's relationships or what others are doing or like what, instead of like look at your relationship.
Yes, exactly.
Like
it's become such a norm.
You're looking at somebody else and you're trying to like get in people's business and pick their relationship apart, and then like you're with your partner and y'all have a terrible relationship.
Right.
And I think it's really them deflecting how they feel about their relationship onto other people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I agree. Some people are like very influenced on other people's relationship. I've noticed too. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, they have it like this. We need to work that way. I see that being so detrimental to like the other. Like if you were that way, her being like, oh my god, this is so exhausting. Like just come home. I made dinner on a paper plate. Like just relax.
Like chill. I feel like
that food. I'm gonna eat it.
I got the heavy duty with the section.
With the sections.
Hey, okay. I hate that we're running out of time, but there is one just small thing I wanted to just touch on real quick because I have it on my notes, and this was something I was looking forward to. Given your past, right, and the things that you shared with me privately, and I wonder now as a dad, right. While you do your best to make sure that your kids grow up in like a, in a healthy lifestyle for that there's always, there's environment involved still. You know what I mean? And they're going to go to school. They're going to be exposed to different people. Do you ever fear that your children, for both of you, do you ever feel like your children might succumb to those same things? And like, are you prepared for something like that? Or what do you do to avoid that, I guess?
Well, we've actually talked about that too, because, we're like, eventually our kids are going to get older.
Right.
They're young now, so it's kind of hard to see that far. But, I mean, we were teenagers at one point, and we understand. So what we've talked about is, again, it goes back to, teaching your kids the way they should go and the way they should act and the way they should be. And not only just telling them, but, like, actually acting that way.
Yeah.
So they grow up around that, and they're so accustomed to how you are and how her family, that's how they act. Mm-hmm. Like, if they're like, if it's unfortunate, but like if your dad's an alcoholic, for instance, there's a high tendency that you might be an alcoholic because that's how you grew up and that's what you saw.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but on the flip side, if you have a good parents, they have good jobs, they take care of their finances, they treat people well, they give the homeless guy some money, or they're generous, or whatever the case may be, they pick up on those things because they go, oh, that's how my dad is, or that's how my mom is, that's how I want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really how I'd answer that question, is teach them the way they should go. And then if they act
that example
outside of that, you tell them, look, this is the way that I taught you. And if that's not the way that you act, that doesn't mean I disown you. I don't love you.
Yeah.
That doesn't change that. But there's consequences to your actions.
Right.
That's how we're going to raise our children, is that we're going to teach you the way you should be. And if you go outside of that, we can't control it.
Right.
What we can control is giving you the best opportunities for yourselves and then see what you do with it. And usually that's the best outcome, because if they grow up that way and that's their habits, this other stuff's like, it's so foreign to them. They're like, what? I don't want to do that stuff,
I think, when we speak on that, for me, there were so much things that my parents did that I saw growing up, and I think that's why, I never smoked weed. I never in my life, I was I just don't want to. I didn't start drinking until I was 21. But I was I just don't want to be that way. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
be so different.
It definitely starts when you're young, and we've seen a lot of stuff growing up, in our childhood, and I think that's one of the biggest things to this day, as we're raising our daughter and as we bring our son into the world, that we keep in the forefront of our mind is what we want them to see versus what we want them to not see. Because, we just want to change that. We want them to have a better childhood
I love that.
And a better life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you always want, I think a good parent always wants better for their kid no matter, like, in every stage of life. Like,
Yeah, and that just
and we had
stacks.
it great. And so, but we want Ruby and baby boy to just, like, exceed every expectation.
Yeah, and you know, like, I grew up without a dad. Like, I had an absent father and stuff. So, like, a lot of the things that my dad did, it wasn't necessarily these are the things I should do, but it taught me these are the things I shouldn't do. And really, that's wisdom. Like, knowing what you should and shouldn't do in any situation and why, that's how you start to learn, like, oh, this is how I can excel in life. This is how I can have good relationships.
Yeah.
This is, you know, maybe, like you said, like smoking weed. Maybe I shouldn't smoke weed for a job interview. Or maybe, if I have a job interview in 4 weeks, well, it might take 2 weeks to get out of my system. Maybe I should stop smoking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. Or, I mean, you don't just, like, go and do meth and hang out with your family. You know, you just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but, again, it just comes down to life experience.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I respect that. And, you know, one thing I have to say, too, I know I said it early in the show, but one of the things that just really inspired me to have you guys on the show is because while I do love talking to couples and your perspectives on things, I've always, you guys just seem so well-rounded. You know what I mean? And I just, y'all take the greatest photos with each other. You do. And Mia, okay, were you doing like yoga or Pilates or something like that back in the day? I don't know. You were really heavy into the working out back
Yeah,
in the day.
just working out. Yeah.
Girl was snatched. I was like, Colton.
I have to agree.
And so I just
agree.
what I say, what I have to say, what I appreciate you guys are your values in raising your children. And, you know, we do come from somewhat different generations, but you guys just seem so prepared. I hope that's not cheap because I'm sure there's no preparation for being a parent, right? But I just wish nothing but the best for you guys. Is what
Oh,
I'm saying.
thank
Let me
you.
stop
Appreciate
now.
it, bro.
I wish nothing but the best for you guys. So happy you both came on the show.
Yes.
Okay. Now before we go, we just got to plug in a couple things. Okay. So Mia, you're with Chow right now, so you're focused on being a mom.
Yes.
Stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
Okay. Loving every bit of it. I'm sure it's all our dreams, right?
Yes. Yes.
Colton, what are you doing these days?
Roofing sales.
Okay.
Like for work or just in general?
Yeah, sure.
Work.
Do we need to plug you in, or are you good on that?
I'm good.
You're good on that.
I'm good, bro.
I like that answer. Okay. Well, listen, you guys, thank you so much for coming onto the show. And, you know, I hope to have you guys back again in the future under
Yes.
different circumstances because I do, you know, at some point we're going to dive in the past. We're going to dive in the past. It's going to be a lot more
Get us back
personal.
on. We'll come back.
A
Yeah.
part 2. Yep.
We'll do a part 2 in the future because Colton's got a story. And it sounds like Mia's got a story too. And somehow the story met with each other. But at the end of the day, thank you guys for sharing a bit of your life with us here on the show.
Of
I truly
course,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
We loved it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, you guys, I've got more of the public affair on the way, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Big shout out to Mia and Colton for coming on to this episode of the podcast. This was actually for the parents, for the couples, for the people that are in relationships. I hope you guys took some notes. They don't have the answers to everything. They don't claim to have the answers to everything like that. But it's some things that we can kind of just like, you know, take a step back and be like, re-perspect everything. That's the word. Anyway,
It's the word.
Yeah,
I think they were picking up what you were putting down.
That's the word today. Hello. Okay. Now, before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity. I'm just give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of the Public Affair. I don't have a lot of sponsors. Stop. I want to give a shout out to Jeffrey Monterey with Boyle Box and Audio, home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. Definitely a one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. I love my tint job. I love my star lights. I love my LED lights. I love everything that he's done to my car. It's fantastic. Jeffrey Monterey is the go. Oh, and he has a new driveway now. So if you guys have been going to Boyle Box and Audio and were scared to drive into the actual shop, which is the garage, it's okay now because he's got a whole new driveway and it's perfect. It's smooth. It's great. Jeffrey Monterey, thank you so much for all you do for me in the show, and I hope you hit up my girl Rachel Pate because she did tell you to slide her DM on the last episode. Okay, so Ana Limones, we're HB party backdrops and decor for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra for your party or event. If you guys have a baby shower coming up and you need a decorator, Colton, just hit up my girl Ana Limones, we're HB party backdrops and decor. The number is on the screen, and so is the email. I'll text it to you. You can contact her for all weddings, private events, corporate events, birthday parties, and so much more. HB Party Backdrops and Decor. Ana Limones is the go. Thank you so much for all you do for me in the show, girl. And of course, to Julio Arriaga with JC Painting and Drywall LLC. Contact for all drywall and beautiful new paint for your property, both commercial and residential. His work is honest, true, and can guarantee 100% satisfaction. They live by their slogan. Just imagine, and we can make it happen. Call today with the number on the screen. Se habla español. Muchas gracias por todo, mi amigo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To Julio Arriaga, thank you so much for all you do for me in the show. To all of you guys, I've got more of the public affair on the way. Thank you again for 5 years of the show. Thank you again to Colton and Mia for coming on. I told you I was going to be nice. It was cutesy wootsy, right?
So cutesy
I wasn't
wootsy.
even appropriately drunk. I wasn't none of that.
I give you A+.
Hello. And until then, all the stuff that we're going to share on part 2 of the episode will always be between us.
All this this stuff that you can't, like, people's attitude and this, and, like, I got to the point where I'm like, I don't care. You can get mad at me. You can call me whatever. You can talk to me this. I don't care. I'm here to sell trailers and have fun. That's it.
Not me. I'd be over there snatching wigs.
Yeah. No,
We know.
Andrew's always fighting.
We never got into it. I think I was rude to Colton one time, and I had to apologize.
No, it was more.
Was it? No, it was not Colton.
It was a lot more, bro. It was a lot more.
Colton, I was not rude to you more than once.
It was like once a month.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.